Welcome back to Open, everyone. Hombres de Arcilla, which translates to Men of Clay, is a new exhibit in collaboration with the BX Arts Factory and the Point CDC and visual artist Alberto Villalobos. The exhibit is set to open April 22nd, showcasing a collection of 43 clay masks made by Villalobos. And here now to share more, we welcome visual artist Alberto Villalobos. Hello and welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Thank
Good
you for
morning,
being
everybody.
here. Good morning. And let's talk a little bit about your philosophy behind clay and,
Right.
and what led you to actually molding clay.
Sure. It's something that I've been doing for a while, but I think we all have a tendency to create and to communicate through some sort of artistic expression. Call it music, call it visual arts, call it painting, call it cooking. And my girlfriend started taking me to the Supermod pottery studio in Manhattan about a year ago. And I just became fascinated with the process of creating hand sculpting with clay. The feeling, it's really a feeling of connectedness with the soil. And it teaches you a lot about yourself, about your patience, about kind of keeping your emotions in control. When you're throwing at the wheel, it's very, very important to keep those things in mind. And so that's how the exhibit came about, actually, by going to the Supermod studio and
So you've been doing this for a year, you said?
about a year, a little
Wow.
longer than a year. But I've been artistic.
Well, you're a musician,
Yeah,
right?
I'm
by trade.
By trade,
right?
yeah. I remember growing up in Mexico, in Jalapa. I used to just sneak out of my music classes to go to the visual arts division of the school, and I would just take drawing and whatnot. All other types of visual art. I've been very inclined to learn more about the visual art scene, and
And so you found your calling.
I found myself,
in
yeah,
the molding.
definitely,
Yes,
definitely.
in the sculpting.
In the sculpting, the hand, the masks.
What I also love about the reason I even opened up with you and your philosophy is I love, there was a sentence that I read where you reference life and its emptiness, or what is your quote?
Right. I think you're talking about while describing the theme of the exhibit, and it really reflects the struggle of the 43 missing students from Guerrero.
Oh, yeah, let's talk a little bit about
Yeah,
what inspired this
absolutely.
particular
This-
exhibit before we even go to that quote, because it leads up to the quote that I
Exactly.
read, which I found very fascinating, and in understanding why you chose that topic to, I guess, explore your talents on such an extreme level, because
Thank
you
you,
did like
thank you.
43 of them, right?
Yeah. It's actually, it's a collaborative effort. I invited. I never thought that when I put the word out to Bronx Arts Factory and the Point, I would have such a wide response from different artists, photographers, now, and painters that I invited to participate and collaborate with me in this project. Even though it's labeled as a solo exhibit, it really is a community project. There's going to be a lot of activists involved in the opening ceremony tomorrow, which is going to happen tomorrow, Saturday at 5 p.m. at the Point. And it's beautiful to see the community come together around a subject that has caused so much social unrest, not only in Mexico, but overseas and around the world.
Just in
which is-
general, of humanity.
Right, yeah. So
And
one
you're
of
giving them a life, you're giving them a face.
yeah. Actually, I invited one of the
And a
parents.
voice.
One of the parents, who's Antonio Tizapa, who will be there tomorrow, talking about his missing son, and giving us an update about the case and about the development of the investigation. He's been very active, promoting a solution for this conflict, because it's been a struggle. Imagine like you were missing your son for over 2 years now. 2 years and 7 months is going to be next week. So it's a big deal. It's a big deal, and it deserves more attention. And when it inspires artists to create and come together as a community, I think it's a very powerful subject. And I'm just really happy to have the opportunity to lead this effort. It's not the only one, but there's been many efforts around New York City and active communities actually.
So we're looking at some of, I guess, the work that you've created, and I'm just curious to know, how long did it take you to create this exhibit?
Right.
How long does it take you to make just one mask? How's that?
Well, in pottery, you just have to learn to be patient, because you make one mask and it might not turn out. It might just break in the kiln. You have to fire it at several temperatures, different times, glaze it, sometimes pit firing, sometimes taking several trips to Connecticut, to Albany, to visit different kilns. They would fire the masks, so it takes a long time to have actually one finish from start. Say I start one today, I will probably see it in a couple of months.
I'm looking at it as you're speaking, so
No,
I'm visualizing like what your process is.
Right.
When
No,
you're
it-
saying.
it is
So
really-
give me just a general
well,
per mask.
Per mask, it's probably a couple of months.
A couple of months.
Yeah, if you're lucky, because it might break in the last week, or
Right.
it might just don't turn out the way you want it, and out of the kiln, and then you're just been waiting for nothing. And then that's what really fascinates me about creating clay masks. That you're not really sure how are they going to turn out. You have an idea and you have a vision, but at the end of the day, when you see them, we've been working so hard to mount them in the gallery and to give them life after they fired, and to mount them in wood panels and adding all these visual aids to the viewer to really communicate the feelings. And I added a lot of things, wire and rusted metal, pieces of wood, to make it really a complete piece that actually transmits the feeling of despair in some cases, of peace in others, and to be able to do that through visual arts is just a beautiful gift, that I'm happy to share with you guys.
Well, it's beautiful, and it's lovely that you're a perfect example of like art is art, and one actually contributes to the other, because you're a musician by trade, and now you have this wonderful exhibit, and I understand that there's going to be other activities occurring throughout the weekend, or actually I think up until May, right?
Correct.
And so,
The exhibit is going to be open on display until
and
May
you're going to have
27th.
musicians tomorrow?
Tomorrow is the big opening,
Right.
from 5 till 9. There's going to be the Semillas Collective, which is a group of activists and dancers. There's going to be Outernational, the rock band that we collaborated with a while ago. They're going to be doing this song called El Desafiante, inspiring the 43 students. There's going to be also Villalobos Brothers, which is my band. My two brothers are going to be performing with me one song that we wrote about the students. There's going to be talks by Antonio Tizapa, one of the parents, as well as poetry by Juan Canaghi and a ballet folklorico of the University of Columbia are going to be doing one song, a workshop, talks, and it's going to be very interesting. There's going to be food, there's going to be drink, and we're just going to have a good time honoring and commemorating the lives and looking for actually keeping the struggle and keeping the search of the students alive, because the parents, I myself believe that some of the students might be alive, if not all of them, even though the official story is that they were killed and burned.
Right.
So it's just tragic. It's just tragic.
So the day tomorrow begins. All the activities begin at what time?
At 5 p.m.
5.
The address is 1391 Lafayette Avenue, and the Point Campus is the name of the. It's a big space where it's going to be outside. The gallery is indoors, but it's a big space where we're just going to gather. Put a small stage, some lights, some microphones, and we're just gonna call it a night, and have a big fire and gather around, have some interesting activists talking about what they're doing, and sharing experiences, sharing visions, and coordinating ways to keep on acting as a community and searching for the kidnapped students.
That's lovely.
Thank you so much.
That's lovely. So are there any last words you want to share with that?
Well, just to invite everybody, the community in general, Hunts Point community, the Bronx community, and the larger Tri-State area to come together tomorrow at 5 to check out the masks. The final product is a project that has taken me over a year, and you will be also be able to see paintings and photographs from other artists.
And surround yourself with fellow artists and be entertained and eat in the process.
Exactly.
Right?
Which always helps.
It's so lovely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
Alberto.
having me. It's my
Of
pleasure.
course, no,
Thank you.
you. That's so lovely. I'm just warmed with your hope, and here's to keeping hope alive. And,
Absolutely.
and blessings to you.
Absolutely.
And
Thank you.
blessings to the actual gentlemen that are missing.
Are missing.
And you guys, Hombres de Arcilla, will be on display from April 22nd through May 27th at Point Campus for the Arts and Entertainment, located on 1391 Lafayette Avenue in the Bronx. And for more information on the exhibit and more of Alberto's work, you can visit albertovillalobos.org. That is our show today, mi gente. Thanks to all our guests for coming through and to you, our viewers, for tuning in. If you missed any part of the show, you can check out the recablecast tonight, 24 hours a day at BronxNet.tv. I'm Rhina Valentin, and from all of us here at Open, may the universe provide paz, prosperity, y amor. Adios.